The prevailing state of Arik Air at the time of the receivership was defined by debt overhang, a dispirited and disillusioned workforce, combined with exasperated trade unions who were beginning to bear their fangs. As at the time of the receivership, Arik Air was indebted to AMCON to the tune of about 180 billion, while its total assets value was about 80 billion. This clearly indicated that the airline's debt far outweighed its assets. So Arik was incontestably insolvent, or in more simple terms, bankrupt. More significantly, all indications were that the owners did not show they were aware of the enormity of the problem, nor did they display any clues as to charting a path out of the quagmire. Rather, industry watchers were dumbfounded to find that the owners, having found themselves in a deep hole, were indeed continuing to dig. By that, we meant that the owners were discreetly seeking more loans and at the same time applying resources it did not really have to elephant projects. This was the state of affairs that AMCON took to the court to seek receivership. Our honest opinion is that the court had no alternative to granting the prayer of AMCON, and we dare say that these facts are incontestable. It was the case of a company run aground by its owners, and the entity that had the utmost to lose, in this case AMCON, taking the only lawful option open to it to either mitigate its losses or salvage what it could out of the loss. At receivership, AMCON had only two options: one, to liquidate, or two, to turn the fortunes around with the hope of eventually recouping its debt from the airline. A purely business decision, let us face it, would have been for AMCON to liquidate and then count its losses. Consider it a bad business. If such decision was taken, the workers would have taken a massive hit. Whereas normally workers do have some protection under a liquidation exercise, but the fact of the absence of any defined benefit scheme due to there being no conditions of service for them would have meant that the workers would have been left empty-handed with their jobs gone. It was therefore a massive sigh of relief when AMCON announced the second option of turnaround. Now, we do know, of course, that AMCON, being a federal government agency, was simply pressured by government not to liquidate because of two reasons. One, Arik was the biggest airline at the time, and its unceremonious exit would have caused serious crisis for the industry. And two, liquidation would have meant throwing about 2,000 employees into the labor market. This was quite a problem for the government, as unemployment was, as it still is, a big socio-economic issue. So this brings us to the present state of affairs after the receivership.